We're going to take another look at the 2024 recruiting class, and we're going to shine a spotlight on four-star offensive lineman Ian Moore, who's going to be playing for the Ohio State Buckeyes. We're going to look at his highlights. We're going to look at his 24/7 Sports player profile page. But before we do that, you need to click that subscribe button right now, because we're talking about these 2024 recruits all off season long, player by player, and you need to know what these players look like when they start making plays for your team. Hit that button, stop missing out. But here's his 24/7 Sports player profile page. If you're here for just the highlights, fast forward a few minutes, you will get there. But four-star prospect, ranked as the 9th best interior offensive lineman in the class in the rankings. 5th best, though, in the composite. 6'6", 317 pounds. We got some size there. We're enrolled with the Buckeyes. We had 23 offers, which is a good amount. My scale for offers, 20 or more good, 30 or more great, 40, pushing 40, past 40, elite. And then you also want to look at who's sending the offers. Of course, we're going to Ohio State. They thought he was good. He went to Ohio State. We got other Power 5 programs as well, and plus many other schools. But four-star prospect, one of the tops in his class at his position, 23 offers. From there, everything was looking good. Played in the All-American Bowl. Projected to be a day 3 pick in the draft. Looking at the scouting report, he's a tall offensive lineman, has enough length to play on the outside, especially at the college level, but long-term projection could be even higher at guard. Verified 6'6", 317, just shy of 34 inches, and huge hands, 10+ inches. So we got a monster here. At the 2024 All-American Bowl, extensive left tackle experience, as well as high valuable defensive line snaps, two-way reps. This guy can play on both sides of the ball. He's very versatile. I expect him to be quick for his size, have some athleticism, move very well, look agile. That being said, we should see some good highlights today. We also ran some track. Not ran track, but we participated in track because we did the shot put here. However you want to call that. But we're a Buckeye. Notre Dame tried to get him as well. Some top-tier Power 5 schools. Four-star prospect here. Looking at On3, and we're going to look at the rankings, see where he's listed at, and he's a four-star prospect down the line with all the recruiting sites. On3 has him ranked 29th, ESPN 14, Rivals 9th, industry rankings overall 13, listed at 6'6", 315. We got Iowa, Cincinnati, Louisville, so some good schools going after him. Tennessee, Wisconsin. Wisconsin likes to get the big nasties. We've covered some of those from this class if you want to check those in the archives. But let's take a look at the highlights. Let's see what this kid is working with. 8 minutes and 40 seconds. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Let's let these plays rip. Let's see what this guy got. I'm already seeing the size. Not just size, but broad shoulders. Looks like a college lineman. If I was to pick up a college lineman in NCAA 25, 14, whatever game you like, some like 12 or 13 better because of the recruiting, he would be your stereotypical offensive line. He moves well. Did you see him pivot back to the right side there? That's very light on his feet. I was guessing that just from, not really guessing that, but from what we read from the scouting report, it kind of said that. Knocking guys down. Got good length too. Play's going on. Hope you didn't have too much caffeine before watching that play. Here we go again. Just reading and reacting off the defender. Not taking any baits. Staying smart. Finishing plays. Getting out stance good. Good base. Just brings them down. Working momentum. Working the momentum of the defender. Getting his hands in the chest plate. Let's see here. Boom. Right underneath. Good stick with the hands. Good jab in the chest plate. Get low, boom. Good pop off the step there. Good pop. Look at the nastiness, too. I like that they're throwing the ball a lot because you're seeing, well, a lot. We have a sample like 5 plays, but still. I got a good assessment off the few plays. Melted him. Melted that player. What went on there? Here we go on the next one. Drives the guy in. They're supposed to read off that edge. There we go. That's what I get there. Boom, boom. Getting on there, though. Reading the chest plate there. Look at that. Bam. Hands. Same spot every time. Same spot every time. Watch where he puts his hands. Boom, right there. Same spot every time. Same spot. Quick stick, too. Explosive. That means when you get him at Ohio State, they're showing him something. He's going to learn that technique, and he's going to do the same thing every time. And what that matters is when you do that, you're less likely to revert back to bad habits or anything like that because you're going to make sure you do the technique correctly, habitually, even though you don't have to. He doesn't have to. Those guys he was sticking there in the chest plate, he was much bigger. He could maul them. He can do whatever he wanted, but he held that technique. That's what I'm getting at. He did not have to do that. Really, he could just obliterate anybody in front of him. The next play. Looks good in the stance. Doesn't look like a big guy. Can't figure out how to do it. Move. Again. Pop and then working down. Getting it low too. Grading him down. He looks like a big nasty. They say he's got more upside at guard. He'd be a very good road grading guard. I could see that. He's got good pop off the step. Boom. We're pulling. Yes! 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 That's my favorite play is seeing these guys pull. Let's go again. Got him. Got him. That guy was a little bit shorter. Still, did you see what he wanted to do with the hands? It's instinctual. He's repped it so much that his hands automatically do it. His arms, or whatever you want to call it. He's repped it so many times. That lets me know this kid's a hard worker. That lets me know this guy puts the time in. He probably does it in his sleep. I'll say this. And the reason why you kind of can tell, it's kind of like, think of it like your golf swing or your bench press, where you got to have that motion perfect, just like this. And the way to do it, you go to the driving range, you hit balls. You hit pads, you 1v1s, board drills. You put in a lot of work. Talent too, but look. Same spot every time. Every rep looks the same. He might be that kind of guy. He just is an effort guy, smart guy, does everything correctly type of guy. I bet you get him in the weight room and all his reps look great. I bet he has a very high GPA. Look, under the same, looks same every time. It's supposed to do that. And you may say, yeah, it's supposed to. We've covered so many offensive linemen, and I've not mentioned that with one of them. A lot of them, they'll let their technique go because it's so easy. He's keeping it. Like, he doesn't have to use it. He doesn't have to, like, he can maul. Like, look at 26 here. Or 20. Let's see if he gets his hands on 20. Hands down there. That lets me know whatever Ohio State wants to coach him with, he's going to do. Now on defense, we're seeing good pop off the step. We're seeing good reactions. He looks like a college offensive lineman right now. Boom. We're going to get that outside. Slamming him. Here's the next play. On defense, he's going to work through that. Gets to the trash. Wraps him up. Barrels. Do a barrel. We're going. There he goes. Here comes the polar bear. Boom. I think there's some things I point out where the scouting reports don't. I also like that he's nasty as well. He'll finish the play. He keeps his technique while finishing the play. He's got good pop off the step, too. I've said that earlier, but just in case you fast forward through this and you missed that part, he moves well for his size, like laterally. Looking good, though. He's looking good. And he's multifaceted. You can play him inside, outside. He's a good road grader. He's got good technique. Keeps everything looking the same. Looks good out of his stance. We've had a couple offensive linemen that were a little bit awkward in their stance. That were rated higher. That they got in their stance. He's rated lower on 3. And I'm trying to think about what they're seeing, and that might have been 1v1s in practices at the All-American book game. Maybe something happened there. I would also say that when you look at so many offensive linemen and you got so many to recruit, it's hard to really get a good feel. I would rank him in a range that's a little bit higher where he's at. And I would do so because of the techniques. And he's already got the size and he moves well with it. While being dominant. While being a dominant player. I think he can compete at Ohio State, and if he taps into his upside, when I say tap into your upside, this guy has a lot of potential, and there's still a lot of growing to do because you're going from high school to college. You tap into that potential, you're going to climb that depth chart at Ohio State, you're going to be somebody there, you're going to be starting, you're going to be playing. If you don't do that, then obviously we know what's going to happen. But when we look at this guy on tape, good pop off the step. What I mean is when he comes out of his stance, pass blocking, he covers a lot of ground. He's able to move laterally very well to keep the block. Strong hands. Quick. He's very nuanced, and he's good at keeping his mechanics. He's good at holding down his mechanics. Every block looks the same, which is what you want to see. It's just right up there in the chest plate. Like, bam. Almost robotic. Like you just hit that button and just bop. Hits him right in the chest plate. Player jolts back. He finishes them. He finishes players. He's also dominant. He's dominant while holding mechanics. And that's something I want to stress here because we've seen a lot of offensive linemen on this channel. And a lot of them are dominant. And they're just killing players left and right on the field. You're seeing that. He's still holding his mechanics. He's still playing in structure and being dominant, which is a little bit different. Which tells me that he's going to put effort in. He's going to really make sure everything's hammered down. He's going to be in practice. He's going to do what the coaches tell him to do, and he's going to hold that down throughout the practice. He's going to work on that, and he's not going to play out of structure. He's going to really play to where he's taught, develop his skill set, because that's what he's showing us. That's what he's showing with that. That's a little tidbit there of who he is as a player, who he is and how he thinks mentally. He wants to get everything done perfect. I imagine if a family member of his comments down below, they're going to say, yep, that's him. I imagine so. And you can tell from some of these players, if you really watch enough of them and you look at the finer details, you can kind of get a little gauge of their personality. And I can kind of see that with him. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on the way out. I want to thank you for watching. Catch you on the next video.